Welcome back. And if you've never seen my face before, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Rachel, and here on this channel, we help each other get through this thing called life with Christ at the center. I cover all things faith, lifestyle, and beauty. So if that sounds like something that you would be interested in, please consider subscribing and joining this community. So from the title of this video, we see a word that is probably pretty familiar to a lot of us. We've either been called that, we've either called someone else that, or heard someone being called that. And we all can agree that it's not the best thing to hear. We don't feel the best when we hear it. It's even in the Bible. The Bible speaks against it. And when I was digging a bit into this word, a lot of the definitions tend to point towards the unwillingness to work or the lack of interest in working. But what if I told you that there is more to laziness than meets the eye? And could laziness actually just be a symptom? Stick with me in this video and we'll discover some things that God has revealed to me about my own issues with laziness and how we can rid ourselves of this concept altogether. So the first thing is that God was so gracious to me to be able to reveal that I'm not lazy, I'm just traumatized. Or I'm not lazy, it's just trauma. For me, I have been someone who has battled with illness and chronic pain since I was about 16 years old. It all started with shingles. I got shingles while I was in lower six. For those of you who are in Jamaica, yeah, it was 2014, December 2014. Yeah. And then since then, I sort of had a downward spiral where my health was concerned. So I spent a lot of my time being in pain. And as a result, I would avoid activities. I would avoid social gatherings. I would avoid being more involved in college and that sort of thing, simply because I just wanted to minimize my pain as much as possible. And it wasn't until God showed me recently how much it affected me that I realized that it wasn't really laziness. It was just a trauma response from everything that I've been through, not wanting to feel that pain. So I would avoid going out and doing things because I subconsciously had realized that, hey, if you do this activity, you're going to have to pay the consequences later. So, well, let's just not do it altogether. And that's what happened in my life. And it turned into a habit, sort of. Just for you to understand for you to understand the kind of the level of pain that I mean to say, the things that regular people would be able to do, I find it hard to do. And I think even from the outside looking in, probably my friends are probably family, or anybody who I was probably interested in at the time, dating, that sort of thing, wouldn't really understand me not wanting to go to certain places. Although yes, I am an introvert at heart, but a lot of it was, they might look at it and say, oh, Rachel doesn't want to have any fun, Rachel might be lazy. But the truth was that I just kind of want to avoid the situation, because I know once I get home, I'm going to have to go mix up some turmeric, because I'm a natural remedy girly. I'll have to go home and mix up some turmeric to try and ease my pain and ease my issues from the activity that I did. It's not something strenuous, but my body just could not handle it. So my brain registered movement with pain, and as a result, I just didn't want to move any at all to avoid that pain. So now, thankfully, I've been doing a lot better, and God is working on my healing. He's using things like herbs and food to actually help me, as well, help me along with that. But I still kind of have to be cautious. And a huge thing that helps me is actually calling on Him and using Him to give me grace, to give me strength to get through the day. I literally have to beg Him every single morning to get me through the day. That is all I ask. And once I do that, my day is a win. So just incorporating him made my life a whole lot better. I was super, super, super depressed before coming to God. I can't even sit here and lie to you. I was so depressed, especially mostly about 90% of it had to do with my health, why the depression came. And it was only because of God. He has been the one who has been helping me to manage it. He actually helped me to discover that it was a trauma response in my brain associating the movements with the pain. And so I would avoid doing anything to not be in pain. So it's not that I was lazy at all. And it was a huge weight off of my shoulders. And I'm so grateful to him to just being there by my side, and giving me the tools and giving me the tools and the strategy and the help until my appointed time for my divine healing. And another thing he revealed to me is that I'm not lazy, it's self sabotage. Now, the truth is, a lot of the times when God talks to us or God tells us something, it's not always going to be nice and sweet. It's not always going to be something that we want to hear, but it is important. And we can't say we want God and we only want to hear the good, snuggle up, loving, comforting things, and we don't want the rod of correction. What he showed me was that I am not lazy. It was just that my fear was crippling me. My fear was making me delay certain actions. My fear was keeping me from pursuing the things that I actually wanted. Fear and insecurity sort of combined. I'm a person where I like to stay hidden. You will find me at the back of the room. You will find me in a group of people being the most quiet. I do not like attention. And God draped me up and He's letting me know, like, that's not what I called. That is not what I purposed you for. That is not what I called you to do. You are to be a light, and He does not want me to be hidden. He is pushing me out, pushing me out in front of everybody, and I hate it, but it is necessary. As a result of my fear of not wanting to be seen, fear of not wanting to be criticized, fear of not wanting of being ridiculed, of saying the wrong thing, of looking stupid, which is pride, um, I would delay and I would not do anything. My fears actually allowed me to sabotage my goals, sabotage my destiny, sabotage what God had planned for me, sabotage things that I had just wanted to pursue out of fun, but didn't because I was just afraid. When God showed me that, I was able to get to the root. Because we're looking at laziness as a fruit, when laziness is just the tip. We need to get to the root of the issue, and the root of the issue right there, one of the roots, because I spoke about the other roots, which was trauma. One of the other roots was my fear. How to conquer fear, you ask? Honestly, the only way is to do it. That is literally all I can tell you. Their only way to conquer fear, well, two ways to conquer fear, is to do it, pursue it, whatever it is that you want to do, make that video, send that email, go get that brand deal, write that book, whatever it is that you need to do. The only way to beat the fear is to do it. And this right here, I literally have to remind myself every single day. I have to be reading this word to remind myself who I am, who God said I am, and even remind myself of the personal words that He has given me. So it's through God, God's help, His word, and actually just deciding, making that decision to do it. That's the only way the fear will go away. The only way out is through. And now the last thing now that I was able to discover, with God's help, of course, is that I am not lazy. I'm just burnt out. Now, when it comes to doing things for people, I am very dedicated. I am a woman of integrity. I'm a woman of my word. So if I tell somebody I'm going to do something, if I'm doing my job, best believe I'm doing it to the best of my ability. There's nobody on this earth who has employed me and can say anything bad about me. And I can stand on that because I overexert myself and I make sure to give good results. And so a lot of the times I will do a lot and get burnt out to the point where I can't even do anything at all. And this is an example right here. So at one point I was overworking myself to the point where I started acting up, lots of pain in my wrist. I had to get steroid injections twice, which caused discoloration in my arm here. The Lord showed me that I have a tendency to always, and I think as I'm right here too. I just got another revelation that a lot of it would come from people pleasing as well. But that's a story for another day. But I go because when I do something, I want to put out my best effort, and a lot of things take time. I'm always trying to be independent, always trying to help myself. So I'm finding ways to be better. I'm finding ways to develop. I'm finding ways on how I can upskill and make money, that sort of thing. And in my endeavors, I push too hard a lot of the times and then end up hurting myself in the process. And one of the things that God showed me too is that I am a good steward and a good helper, by making sure I'm doing what God would want. But the thing that God showed me is that it's not about their intensity and it's not about always being there all the time, but it's that when you do show up, where is your heart? When you do show up, do you actually care about helping the person? When you do show up, do you do it willingly, right? And that was a whole game changer for me. And he's really teaching me, how to pace myself, how to listen to my body, take the breaks when I need to, which is one of the reasons why I not even think, I know he put me on that sabbatical. Aside from draping me up to say like, Rachel, in playtime is over, like come to me. Aside from that, he wanted me to realize that I needed to start taking care of myself, which I did say in my testimony video. But that was definitely an eye opener for me. And so, guys, that is it. We have come to the end of the video. If you made it to the end, great news. You're not that lazy after all. I hope this video helped you to uncover and unpack some things about laziness that you probably didn't think about before, so that you can go out and do the work that God has placed in your heart. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.